as far as offseason moves, it could be a draft pick, it could be a signing. Is there one move that was your personal favorite that you were pumped up, that you were the most excited to do a video for on JetsCentral?
So honestly, like probably, and it kind of like, I don't mean for this to be like a weird kind of answer, but my favorite move of the offseason was hiring Robert Saleh for sure. I mean, it starts with the coach, like installing the coach, the culture, just everything from a top down perspective. Like it starts with Saleh, because if we hired a guy like Gase again, I don't know how much optimism would there be for the Jets going into next season? Would anybody even trust Chris and Woody Johnson anymore? Like, I feel like Robert Saleh really did a good job of uniting the locker room in San Francisco, getting players to buy in. Schematics aside, I mean, just how he's able to connect with players, and just players showing up with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. I think that's what's really special about the situation, because if things do go south, if the Jets, happen to lose 10 of their first 14 games or something like that, I don't feel like we're going to have this finger pointing mentality or jump ship like Jamal Adams, get me the hell out of here, or get me the heck out of here. Or, think about all the players that we had that were, considered core guys that aren't even here anymore, like that have just left in the last couple of seasons, like the Kelechi Assembly situation, Le'Veon Bell, Sam Darnold's no longer on the team. What's going to happen with Marcus May? But I mean, from a player perspective, probably drafting Elijah Moore in round 2. From an underrated aspect as well, I think that move was huge. I think it's going to pay big dividends, for this upcoming season.
Totally agree. And it just, to me, the more pick just signaled that things are going to be different for Zach Wilson than they were for Sam Darnold. That Joe Douglas saw what happened with Darnold, and that will not happen with Wilson. They already had, a pretty good receiver group even before they added Elijah Moore. But to double down in the second pick of the second round, and get a guy like Moore that they had on their big board as their 16th best player, that was my favorite pick that they made. So we are certainly in agreement there. And then even just taking, the running back Michael Carter in the 4th round. What a pick that is as well. You can never have enough playmakers in this offense, and giving Zach Wilson, a real chance. I had Willie Colon on the show, and he talked about, putting Zach Wilson in a car that could drive, in a car that's not going to break down like the car that Sam Darnold was trying to operate for 3 seasons here. So I'm really optimistic about what they did. And, you mentioned Robert Saleh. He right now is like the most beloved person, inside the Jets organization, because one, he's not Adam Gase or Todd Bowles. He's the anti of those two. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like he has got such a pulse of like what us fans want to hear. He's great with the media. He gives great sound bites. I know they haven't played any games yet, and if they lose week 1, Jet fans will be irrational. They'll be upset, and I get it. But as far as, just the personality that Saleh has, Ian, I mean, the Jets could not have picked someone that is more anti what they've had the last couple of years. Jet fans haven't been this excited about a head coach since Rex Ryan.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I was kind of thinking about a couple of days ago, is like when we first brought in Rex Ryan from Baltimore, like just the excitement was there. Like, and not just from the fans, but from the players too. Like, and we saw that with Rex Ryan going into year 2, like after making the playoffs year 1 with a rookie quarterback, like all of these random, veteran players that are just buying in, like LT and stuff like that, Jason Taylor, just willing to, come to the New York Jets and give it like one last ride, have that mentality and do it with the Jets, a team that historically isn't like this, San Francisco 49er, Dallas Cowboy kind of dynasty. I think it says something about players, coaches. Gase, not a players coach. Todd Bowles, players coach, but did it a different way. And I feel like, when fans would just see Todd Bowles like not making those adjustments, standing one spot on the sidelines, it would kind of send a message like, is he doing anything? Is he awake kind of? But I feel like with Robert Saleh, he's just juiced on the sidelines. And of course, all this stuff has to translate at the end of the day, because I mean, if he's, running around the sidelines with a ton of energy, but we're 0-15 at the end of, towards the tail end of the season, like there's going to be an issue. But I just feel like the players are bought in. Like they want to be Jets. Like free agents in the future are looking at the Jets like, hey, they have cap space. They can not only just pay us, but we can be a part of something special. I think it starts with the head coach.
Totally agree. And, just to your point on that, even before the Deshaun Watson legal stuff all came out, and that totally has changed the conversation with his trade status, Richard Sherman came out and said Watson should force a trade to the Jets. Mind you, all the Jets had done in the offseason to that point was just bring in Robert Saleh. And here you have one of the most accomplished players in the NFL advocating on his podcast that one of the best young quarterbacks in the league should force a trade to a team that's coming off a 2-win season just because they hired Robert Saleh. And that's how much Richard Sherman believed in him. So, I just think the culture overnight by hiring Saleh, it changed. And now we'll find out, how good of a coach he could be. But Ian, I'll tell you what, there's no way he could be worse than what we just went through the last 2 seasons. That I could promise you, Jet fans. Saleh will be a significant upgrade over what the Jet fan had to endure with Adam Gase for 2 years.
Well, it just seems like with Saleh, kind of just branching off your point here, like there's a vision, there's a goal, not just one singular goal, but there's like, we just have an identity. I feel like now with Gase, it was like, let's just show up to practice, like, do what we need to do and like hope we win on Sunday. Like, hopefully we get out there and get a W. But like now it's like, no, like if you're coming to play the New York Jets, like get ready for a fist fight. And that's what gets people excited, just not backing down. Everybody's playing, everybody playing as one team, one kind of heartbeat, one family at the end of the day. So just really, really excited.